So I'm just finishing up editing this video here of Tryston's new ITX workstation that we filmed at the end of 2022. It's now halfway through 2023, so I just want to put this quick disclaimer in at the beginning of the video that if we reference like Black Friday sale and stuff, it doesn't make sense. That's why. But this was too good of a video, in my opinion, not to share it. So without further ado, enjoy the video. So welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to be met with Tryston, who's doing a build for himself. Or I guess we're doing a build. I don't know how that's working out yet. So what exactly is it that we're doing here today anyway?
I've been kind of taking on some more creative projects like design and video editing, and I was kind of struggling with my system a little bit of instability, and basically I wanted to separate work from play because I'd find that I would be working on something and then I'd be like, I'll take a little bit of a break, and the next thing you know, I'm gaming because it's just so accessible. I'm on that computer. So I decided to build a completely new system, and that's just going to be purely for my creative work. I am a big fan of mini ITX, so I figured I'd take some high-end hardware and stick it into this little box and have a little bit of fun. I'll make sure to call you if I need you. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with the motherboard. I got the Z690 STRIX I actually got this used, found it on Kijiji for a good price because these are still quite pricey. Not my favorite design for the board. The aesthetics are a little bit too flashy for me, but you know what? It's whatever. It's gonna be in the case, but it is still a very nice board. So yeah, we'll get that in there. Let's grab some of my components. Great, I don't have, oh, never mind. I got a knife. My fingernail's good enough. Oh. Too late, but I'll use it. Thank you. 13900K. At work, I've done a couple builds for people with these. Nice chip, of course. Basically, anyone that I have done a build for, I have recommended that they use the bracket, which I'll go over in a minute, because it's crazy the difference it really does make. It wasn't until the video by Gamers Nexus and kind of speaking with a couple other people that I really saw how much of an impact it makes on it. We got the CPU and the contact frame installed. This one does say 12th gen, but it works for both. And now we've got that all good. It's in there nice, not too much pressure, so I'm gonna get everything else put in. I got some G.Skill 64 gigs because it's gonna be a workstation. This one's 5600 at CL16, and I just absolutely love the look of this G.Skill Trident Z5 RGB. So we'll get that installed. And it'd be nice if I put the RAM in the right way.
That is one of the issues with DDR5 is that notch is like barely offset.
Yeah. And once again, I put it in the wrong way. Jesus.
Don't you build PCs for a living?
I do. And I spared no cost on storage. Actually, luckily, at the time of recording this, it is actually around the Black Friday time. So these were on sale for about $130 off at my local retailer. And because it's a small form factor case, I'm not gonna really have the flexibility of having a hard drive in there where I can have a mass storage like 8 terabytes. So I went with 2 terabyte 980 Pros. So I'll get those populated on this board and then we'll be good. 980 number 1, 980 number 2.
I should have done an overview on this board.
Honestly.
And then we could have learned how it worked.
Exactly. We'll remember that for next time. Hopefully not too soon because my pockets hurt.
Yeah, we'll see you in, what, 6 months for another PC?
Yeah, probably.
At this rate?
At this rate. Drive number 2. So we're going to have 4 terabytes of PCIe Gen 4 storage, which I'll never saturate, but you know what? Better than not having it.
Hey, do you want this back?
Yeah, I need it. So the last part I need to do, since we've got it outside of the case, is get the back plate on for the cooler, because once it goes in there, I will not have any space for that. So, let's see. Mounting hardware.
What thermal paste are you using?
Pre-applied.
I have a little bit of KPX.
Ooh.
There's probably enough to do it. I also have
spoil me.
I have Cryonaut.
Isn't that
No, but that's Conductonaut.
I would love to do this, but this still scares the crap out of me.
Or I probably shouldn't throw that one. We also have, for your thermal pasting pleasure, we have Chinese bundled packet.
Yeah, no.
Thermal paste.
I'll stick with what's on this if I'm gonna do that.
Rock solid is a rock Corsair. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with that thermal compound, but it's rock solid. We have this. That's Lian thermal paste, but it's unbranded. We have GD900. You know, good straight from China, but honestly, really solid thermal paste.
Yeah, I use it on a decent amount of stuff, even most of my systems.
We got the Cooler Master, Master Pro, Master Gel, Master Deluxe. For your spreading pleasures, we have
Ooh,
we have a
spready boy.
We have a spready boy, but we also have a green spready boy with little finger condoms. And if you really want to get creative, we have this copper shim that bricked the GPU I owned. Let me know if you need any of that.
There we go. So actually, yeah, that's right. This is a Amazon deal, one of their warehouse deals. So it has a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Biggest one is one of these tabs is broken because whoever had this before, I said screw it. I save almost $100. So I can't complain about that. So yeah, this case is tight. I have built one of these for my friend before, and yeah, it is a bit of a cable management nightmare. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a tad bit worried that this isn't gonna turn out the way that I envisioned. Just let the B-roll carry this video.
Hey Tristan, so what happened? Why isn't this thing built yet?
It's just how it is. So I think there's a little bit of B-roll of it, but basically I didn't check one thing, and that is that the pump block would actually fit. I know that I use PC Part Picker to check everything, but I forgot that on these boards, the area around the socket is a little bit smaller because they have to jam pack everything in there, and that pump block doesn't fit on it. So we had to rip it out. I had to go back to my retailer, return the cooler I have, and pick up, which hopefully will work. This Celsius, based on the calculations we did, looks like it will. Let's hope so, because yay.
So it turns out fitting a 280mm rad in the Lian Q58 is actually really hard for like a couple different reasons. As we're finding out the hard way, even after doing a little bit of research about it beforehand.
Yep.
So the fractal also didn't fit.
Nope.
But we have the answer. And this better fit.
It does. I didn't really want it. It does. I feel like this little dog pin. I want to cry.
All right, so it's complete. It's all together. There was definitely a few hurdles.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Main one being 3 AIOs to get the one that worked in there, but
finally got it.
So Tryston, why don't you take the viewers through what it's like building a high-end system in a Q58 case?
It is definitely not an easy feat. I knew that going into this case had a little bit of issues with cooler compatibility, but I thought I did enough research. Turns out I didn't. So I thought that the NZXT cooler would fit in there. In terms of the actual radiator and tubes, we managed to make it work. It was the pump block area. It was just a little bit too wide for the space. It wasn't actually a case compatibility issue. It was more so a motherboard compatibility issue because of how large the pump block is, as well as the fittings on these sides, so it wouldn't actually fit. So it was a little bit of a panic trying to get the system up. So we got that fractal design one. Based on the measurements for the pump block, it was all good. But I didn't check the tubes. So that was that issue. Did a little bit more research and came across the Corsair, which I wasn't 100% satisfied with because I'm a little bit tired of working with Corsair products, but they do make a good product nonetheless. And this one fits flawlessly, as you can probably see on this side. So pretty much all we got to do now is button it all up, get the side panels on, and get Windows installed and do a little bit of testing.
So we're booted in. To Windows here. I was out getting pizza for us. Tryston stayed back and got everything all set up. Just doing some initial testing on it. We're running Cinebench R23 and also FurMark, just some really basic, standard, good to run, make sure everything's working kind of tests. And we're getting some really weird immediate crashing as soon as we'd run FurMark. I was sweating for a couple of seconds because I actually sold Tryston this 3090 that's in this system.
Yeah.
But we popped it in another one of my test benches and it ran no problem. And this case does use a riser, so I don't know, I'll let Tryston get into explaining that situation a little bit more.
So the Lian Q58 comes in a Gen 3 and a Gen 4 version. The only difference between the two is literally that riser cable. So what our theory is somebody had a Gen 3, purchased a Gen 4. Why the f did that just turn off?
Oh, it just went to sleep.
Did it? It just scared me. I was like, so what our running theory is that somebody had a Gen 3, purchased the Gen 4 from Amazon, swapped the riser cables and sent back the Gen 4 with the Gen 3 riser. And of course, because I bought the warehouse deal instead of a brand new one, I might have been subject to that switcheroo. So I have access to another Gen 4 one. I'm going to go physically inspect the riser and see if my memory serves me well and that it actually does say Gen 4 on the Gen 4 riser.
What we ended up doing actually to fix the crashing problem in FurMark was to set the BIOS to Gen 3 speeds. And once we did that, our audio artifacts went away that we were having come through HDMI. And also FurMark would run longer than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There still is kind of an issue with the graphics. It will run FurMark now, but the minute we try to run FurMark and Cinebench, it's crashing sometimes right away, sometimes after a few seconds. So we want to get that Gen 4 cable swapped out in here because it is a Gen 4 card being the 3090. Eliminate that as a variable and then come back and maybe revisit whether or not we have some sort of power limitation problem or something. We are using a power meter and the highest power draw we saw was 777 watts at the wall. It is an 850 watt power supply, so that shouldn't be a problem. So also, there was this mysterious fan noise or some sort of like a fan and a cable type noise. And as we were just wrapping up the video, Tryston thought he heard it. It's making it pretty loudly right now, actually. Do you want to lean in for your mic?
Of course, it gets quieter as soon as I bring it up.
So that's the noise anyway. And so he just leaned in quickly, pulled the top panel off, and you can just see that back fan on the AIO, brand new, fresh out of the box. It's just like wobbling like crazy. So it's just a defective fan. So that will be 4 AIOs in this system to get it working.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I think this is the embodiment of bad luck, Brian. I don't really want to coin something for myself. Terrible time, Tryston? I don't know.
The silver lining here is that the AIO had to come out at least partially anyway to replace the riser. So now it will just have to come fully out to be RMA'd or just swapped out because it's brand new.
Oh, Lord.
So I think that about does it for this video, guys. Let us know what you thought of all of this down in the comments below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this video, and we'll do something different in the next video.
Yep.
Motherfucker. That's too funny.
No, it's not funny.
It's that was like the back of the 3090. What are we running here? Oh yeah, we've seen 100C. We're sitting at like 99 right now. And is it thermal throttling? No, it's 250 watts still. Will iCUE tell you coolant temp?
Yes, it will. But I didn't want to install that malware.
Are you kidding me? You got a bum fan? That's sick. That's not even the part I dropped. I dropped the rad, not the fan.
Me, man.
Oh, it's gonna come back out anyway to do the riser, so.
Bro, I was sitting there because, like, could I have done something to it?
No.
I did touch the back. Like, I did kind of mess around with it while it was here, but I didn't press hard on it.
No. You spun it with your finger. I watched you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't break fans.
Me, man.